Many guys and people are just not able to share that kind of intimacy.
Or that kind of commitment.
Or that commitment. Now, I can say, I can commit to Slumlord 100% because I know I'll have an outlet other places that I wish to go. Yeah. That way, I can give my 100% to them and yet not feel as though I'm being controlled. Because I can do my own thing.
But they know about the other things.
They all do know about the other things. That's what's so good about it. Everyone is doing another thing. That's what's so cool about it.
All right, bring it back in, guys. Start from the beginning. I want the list and I want the quotes.
So the Black Album was the Greasy album.
The Greasy album. There it is. Reload and Load. They're not records. I as a Metallica fan, they do not exist. I'm sorry.
But
to me, my take on them was.
They're the thing that should not be.
There it is.
I thought they were enjoyable.
They were enjoyable. I just, give me fuel, give me fire, give me what I desire. I just could not hang. I said, this is the same band I almost got a tattoo over. I don't know. I'm so glad I didn't.
Yeah.
And then when Death Magnetic came up, well, like I said, I give Saint Anger a pass because Saint Anger was a good record, I think, because it was them being honest. They were being honest about the issues and all that, and it came across, and like I said, I like the fact that it was fractured. But then when you hear Death Magnetic, it was not truly a record. Especially, it should have been the most brilliant album ever had. You had Rick Rubin, who they've never worked with before, who produced all the greatest records from Public Enemy to LL Cool J to Slayer and Anthrax. You know, he produced all that kind of stuff, and the Chili Peppers. So he gets a chance to work with these guys who are geniuses in their own right. Yeah. And I got a feeling that either they weren't listening or he didn't give a fuck anymore. You know, because
they said supposedly, I think he went to them. I think it was also his agenda to go back to the older sound. I think it was their agenda with them. It was like they really didn't have a map after they had done so much. So it probably seemed like a natural idea to go back to the old sound, but it just the disadvantage from the start. Like, I'll say I like that record, but it's not the masterpiece. I don't think that Ride the Lightning is, because Ride the Lightning is almost like something that came together beyond anyone's control.
Right.
Death Magnetic was something they had to consciously think and go back and do.
Well, here's another thing. You got to trust, and I find it so funny I'm even saying this because I'm almost being hypocritical. You have to trust the producer that you're working with. And I find that funny that I'm saying that because I have yet to meet a producer I can trust. Everything that I have done, I produced or co-produced.
By the way, you're a producer, he doesn't trust you. No,
I don't trust myself sometimes.
You don't have a producer, he doesn't
have Well, David...
No, David's different.
David, that was a different situation. He was more like the engineer in that situation.
Yeah, okay.
And that was really... In fact, he gave me free reign, which is really cool. You know what I mean? So I just went for broke.
Producers give you, like, directives that you really need to listen to because usually they're hired by your label company anyway, so... Anyway, okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so we have... I know I just walked out when I just said the thing that should not be. It should not be 1 and 2.
There it is.
So, okay. Then
even the song Bleeding.
Yeah, I can understand. But
I don't even know that song.
But Saint Anger, we were just talking about it. Saint Anger was a good record because it was honest, it was fractured, it sounded crazy, it sounded like everyone had some time in the asylum, and that's what really happened. I mean, even Dave Mustaine visited them during the studio, so you can feel all that weird tension. And I was like, that was kind of cool that they actually
They must have all been in straight jackets at that point.
Yeah, but then when we're dealing with Death Magnetic, we were just talking about this. We honestly felt that it would be a masterpiece because you had the same guy who produced Slayer and Danzig working with Metallica, and they never worked together. But it was like
they rushed it or something.
It's not that they rushed it. Honestly, we're just talking about this. I don't think Metallica was willing to listen to Rick, or Rick said, I don't give a fuck. Because when you're making a record, either you're going to be the person being led, or you're going to be the leader. And it's funny because if someone said to me, you have the opportunity to work with someone like a Fleming Rasputin or a Rick Rubin, I already know, okay, my job is to sit back, learn, and be led. That's my job because these guys are going to show me something I never learned because I never produced a triple platinum record.
Or you could be or you could be narcissistic.
Or I could be narcissistic and lose my opportunity. I could teach them something. So I lose my opportunity to actually learn something because like we said before, it's not about me. It's not about Storm. It's not even about that motherfucker.
The show is though.
It's in a way, but I'm just a vehicle.
Yeah, I remember they were interviewed about the record, and they said that under Rick Rubin's tutelage, he was sort of having them re-examine their earlier records.
Absolutely.
And I think what it comes down to, I think it's on both their parts. What the strengths and the weaknesses.
Right.
It was a conscious effort to go back. There's something a little bit different. It doesn't sound exactly like those records. But it was a conscious effort to go back and recapture something, even if they did something more with it. I think, and it goes on it's on part of the producer and on part of the band. Here and there they got stuff that's really good. Here and there, they got stuff that's been there, done that. And I thought that the shame was that one single they put out was easily the weakest track on the record.
Easily.
The Day That Never Comes. Like, that song's garbage.
Oh, it is. God, how can you... I almost fell asleep driving it. That almost killed me.
Yeah, that song never begins.
Well, I tell you this much. The whole Metallica debacle showed to me about you can have all the talent in the world. You can have all the world supremacy when it comes to album sales. None of that matters.
Yeah.
What matters is just trying to convey through the craft. Try to get all of that other bullshit out of your mind and just let it go. Because when you're in that studio, it's almost like a dojo. It's almost like a yoga room. It's where you can be completely unadulterated and honest. Let it all fucking hang out, and your therapy couch is your music board.
Yeah.
That's where it is. So you can let it all hang out there. If you're unwilling to go into that room honest and unabashed, it will come out on those tracks. It will come out. Because the audience isn't stupid, the craft isn't stupid, and you yourself ain't stupid. If you're lying to yourself, you're going to lie to your tracks. It's going to come out.
Yeah, the other thing is there's only so much, so they made sort of an effort to go back and make something in the old style. Beyond that, all you can do is throw a bunch of riffs down and put a bunch of shit together, and however it's going to come out is... however it's going to
You're
come
going
out.
to throw shit on a wall and see if you get a Rorschach.
Yeah, exactly. But that not all of us can be William Koenig or Jackson Pollock.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work out. Sometimes it turns out to be a mess.
Well, sometimes it can be a mess. Sometimes it can be good. Sometimes it can be great.
Sometimes.
Right. I mean, like Death Magnetic, I thought that was certainly a solid record, but it doesn't have that sort of effortless feeling that their old that something like Ride the Lightning had, where it just seems like it's appropriate. They call that album Ride the Lightning. They caught lightning in a jar.
There it is.
On that album.
There it is.
Yeah, they sort of magically caught it.
Yeah.
And it's weird. Like, yeah, the new Black Sabbath album, from what I've heard
13,
of it, it's 13 is, well, no, okay, Black Sabbath, all their new stuff, when they reformed in the 90s with Ozzy, almost everything they put out, they turned into a cartoon. Like, they just...
Like a caricature.
Yeah, they turned into a caricature of their old sound. Because they're like, okay, we're going to play this really slow, ominous riff. Then during the verse, he's going to play the same notes, but we're going to arpeggiate it and do it mellow.
Then
the chorus, it gets heavy again, and it's like... No, it's just boring. Like, old Black Sabbath would get to the point. New Black Sabbath doesn't even know how to do that.
Because they're not being honest. They're saying, we're going to make what we think what a Black Sabbath record is. Because back then, Black Sabbath would make a record because
Black
of Black
Sabbath died a
Sabbath.
long time ago.
And then, like, the album comes with 5 bonus tracks. If you get it at Best Buy,
and if you hurry now, you can get a free set of diamond fold earrings. I mean, come on now. It's
the 5
Can
bonus
you really?
The 5 bonus tracks.
That's for your
are better
girlfriend
than
who won't let you get time to practice by yourself.
Yeah, the 5 bonus tracks are better than the rest of the album. Because those songs
Excuse me, guys, I gotta cut for a minute. I gotta go call my girlfriend. I told her to call her 5 and 6. I'm gonna be in a lot of trouble.
There it is.
There you go, girls and boys. Stop fucking with your artist freaking co-padres.
Yeah, that's when it comes on. It's more like the band around Slayer. They took their sound as far as it can go.
Then they got
have
phlegm.
nowhere else to go with it.
Then they got phlegm.
And they won't do anything different. They won't put in one happy riff. They won't put in one rock.
Yo, did you hear? Wait a minute. Did you hear what Phil Anselmo? You know, he fired. Okay, he was told that he has to work because got to sound a little bit less angry. So he fired his new production team because they made him sound too angry.
Wow.
I don't know how true that is.
He was so angry. I mean, just think about it, like a double that is.
Wow.
Like, he's too angry, you sound too angry, but then he got too angry at his production team because they made him sound too angry. So now he's got to find somebody else. But the way they described it on the F Action report was so funny because it was like
crazy dude though.
Did you
he's
say
totally crazy? He's totally but he's really smart because like it gets to the point where he was in Pantera, and before he was in Pantera, he was in Down.
No. Down was 95.
That was 95. Okay, because I was thinking because I thought that he jammed with the guitar player from Down before he was with Pantera, and then that
they might have known each other. They knew each other from New Orleans.
Yeah, because they were both from New Orleans, and that was like where he kind of got his start. But then he got with Pantera because he wasn't the original Pantera lead singer.
No, Terry Glade. He took over for Terry Glade.
Right, took over Terry Glade. So then when Pantera became Pantera, the huge success.
Yeah.
And they made the next 2 records they made. In fact, it was right after that unbelievable album, with Far Beyond Driven.
Yeah.
After that album, he actually went back and says, okay, let me do some different stuff. Let me go back to Down. Let me do Super Joint Ritual. Yeah. And that allowed him to go into a different venue. And I find it interesting that the other members didn't do that. Well, Rex did, but neither did Dimebag or Vinny. They never went to another other aspect. And I think that's why if you don't allow your band members who are as talented as you in different ways,
You can't keep them prisoners.
you can't keep them prisoner. It's not a situation where it's just where you're just playing with them, because that gets to the point where you're just having musical masturbation. It gets really,
I think that's
really
what All Within
tired.
My Hands was about.
There it is.
I think it was about how we ruined the thing with Newstead. Newstead left because they wouldn't let him do anything else, but they wouldn't let him write for them.
They wouldn't let him write for him. So what do you expect him to do? He's going to go nuts.
Yeah, so it's like, well, look,
I
I can already have Scrooge McDuck money. I don't have to worry about my financial future, so see ya. I'll form a band called Papa Wheelie for all I fucking care.
Who cares?
And he
Because
did
at
that.
that point, and it gets cool. It's really cool to see your fellow members do something in a different vein that you're
And
not
see them
even
succeed
familiar
and go and
with.
support them. It feels really good too.
It does. It does. It's like it's a different vibe. You know what I mean? And I don't want to hinder anybody, because I know how it is when you feel as though that people don't. I've been in bands and in projects where people didn't want to hear what I was thinking or proposing or considering, or it was like, that's a bad idea, or shut up, kid, that kind of thing. That can be extremely frustrating. You're better off than sometimes being by yourself. But then when you're by yourself, you know, it's kind of lonely to be playing basketball by yourself. Anyone can shoot three throws. You want to pass the ball to somebody. You know what I mean? Every once in a while. So it's all about that. As long
You know,
as
you want
keep
to take the ball away from somebody once.
Well, every once in a while, you gotta take the ball.
You want to give.
Every once in a
Sorry,
while,
that's my
Sometimes you gotta,
personality
slam
coming
it.
out
Sometimes
bad.
you gotta do like a nasty shot block, and so it bounces off their head.
Then you got a
That
good
happens.
foul.
You know, sometimes you gotta give them a hard foul. They try to get in your paint every once in a while. So I have no problem giving a charge or anything like that. So it's cool.
Don't do it in Brazil and play soccer in Brazil. That's
Nah,
weird.
I have no coordination to do that. I'll do
No, I like your head. I think my head. Okay. All right. So we did. Did you go through the whole?
Yeah, I think we did go through the whole history.
So,
of
okay, now
nostalgia.
just to wrap up this show for I think we're gonna call this a part of the KMX's metal show. I want you to just wrap it up and just list them for me now, so that I can put it on the. I'm gonna put it up on the, like, you know, when you say it, I'm gonna put it up digitally on the. Okay, number one.
All right, we already did this. No Life to Leather, sick record as a demo. Then you have Kill 'Em All, the best record ever made by Metallica, as far as I'm concerned. Then you have Ride the Lightning, the first album making Dex Explored. Then you have Monster of Puppets, which was the best album until you had Justice for All, which was a PhD at thrash music. Load and Reload, their commercial successes,
Things
but
should
to
be.
Metallica fans, they were non-existent. You had Saint Anger, which is a really good album because it was fractured. And then, of course, we're all to round it off, you have Death Magnetic, which was the thrash concept record, and that's why it never worked. It was a concept record. It wasn't honest. It wasn't them being mad at anything. It's kind of hard to be mad when you're Lars Ulrich and you're selling $2 billion of art and you're James Hetfield and you're not political. You know, you gotta go further.
Yeah, really.
You gotta go further. That's why Megadeth sounds great, because Megadeth can talk about subject matters, not just about their own addictions. They can talk about politics. They can talk about love. They can talk about loss of love.
Although they lost
pain.
Everybody's got to
time
get
ago.
more punk. Get more punk rock quality to them.
Hell yeah!
All right, guys, thank you. We're gonna wrap it up with a video from let's see, Good Thrash. Let me find a Good Thrash band from this area. Name one.
Rumpelstiltskin Grinder.
I don't have a video from them. How
I
about
don't know any thrash, but I'm a big fan of Breech Loader.
Bree, would you like to see?
I would love to see Breech Loader. My main man Nick Macklin. That's my motherfucker. He's ridiculous.
All right, this is a video that I filmed.
Dude, it is.
You know what? I gotta
With the
upload it
thrash
first.
Revival.
Oh, thank God for
I
Breech
have to
Loader.
upload it first. I'm really sorry. It has to be uploaded. So we're gonna pass.
I'm
We're gonna
down for that
play.
too, you know.
We're gonna play one thrash band from the area, or at least a one.
Valid card. South
Then we're gonna
Jersey.
play.
Woo.
Then we're gonna play
The Fetal.
Breech Loader.
Breech
So
Loader.
just give me a minute to upload Breech Loader. I don't think it's in here. Damn.
Oh, we did it. I love
Wait,
that.
hold on. Let me just double check.
Alright,
Breech Loader. I can't believe I didn't put that in here. I put all the rest of that in here, but not that one. How can I do that? How can I be? Sorry, Nick.
They're the
Nick's
next
a bomb
hidden
diggity,
group.
man.
They're the next hidden group.
Them and I think I'm one ton shovel. I've always said one ton
It's gonna
shovel.
be cool. In fact, I was hoping that Scapegoat could play with Breech Loader.
That would be an awesome combo.
That would be ridiculous. That would be ridiculous.
That would be fucking
I
awesome.
don't remember Breech Loader.
Breech Loader's the bomb. Straight power trio.
Yes, Nick.
Yo, you guys should also look at a play with
Wait, dude, Beck, did we walk in on them at JR's?
Yeah. That's who they were. That's Breech Loader. Yeah, you saw them.
Yeah, that was this. That's what he was just all over.
All right, we're gonna
the place.
play.
He was all
Okay, we're
over
gonna
that
follow this.
shit.
Okay, bag that. Here it is. Breech Loader. Thank you. Storm and Cambax. Awesome.
Thank
deal.
you. Much love for you.
From
Much love.
this is one from Studio 191 Trash Can. This is back Athena calling producing here at I guess for Z191TV.
Saving the scene
This
of
is
music in Philly. That's what
what-
she's doing.
Yeah,
That's what she's doing.
I'm doing it single-handedly. That's why. By the way,
why?
I'm really only 12. I look like I'm freaking 40, but I'm 12. I'll tell you what. Now, okay. So here is Reach Loader, and come see you next time for this metal show. Da da da. Thank you. Okay, now we gotta finish our show. I'm gonna do really quick because we just finish the show.
Cool.
I'm gonna take bits of this. Oh, I'm sorry. Just